how do you productionize it or operationalize it, right, is something which is very important. For example, if you got a model which can tell you that, okay, based on these conditions, this is the kind of offer I should give, this is the kind of transaction that can be fraud, this is the kind of recommendation I should give, this is the kind of like credit default I can have. what how do I make use of this model when my real time transactions are happening? So if a customer is coming to me to ask for a loan, I should be able to execute that model in real time as I'm getting the data, so that I can make that action as fast as possible. That's where streaming analytics come into picture. Streaming analytics is all about connecting to the data in real time, and that data which is in real time can be your market data, your transactions data from your database. So we have CDC adapters which can actually dynamically read from your databases for any change, rather than you waiting or querying the entire database again and again. We can do CDC. You can have messaging systems like Kafka, like TIBCO EMS, where you are getting high frequency data. You want to basically get that data or transaction data, and you want to act on it. So we provide the connectivity. So once you are connected, you might want to do lot many things, right? You might want to do aggregation, you might want to do transformation, you might want to apply the models, and these models can be generated using TIBCO data science platform, or they could have been written if you have like historical models, right? If you are already using Python and R, and if you already have a big set of people whom you have invested in, and they write models for you, we can use those models as it is in our model ops within the streaming analytics, and basically do the scoring of the model. So for example, when a customer is coming to you and asking for a credit, or even through a website, right, he will come to know immediately, because you will have the transaction being linked to the streaming analytics. The streaming analytics will collect that transaction, apply the model which you have built using all your historical information, and that model will tell you what is the probability of this type of customer giving me the default, right? So based on that, you can make that decision. If the probability is very high, then obviously you might want to filter that out right away. If there is some scope, then you might want to have some human intervention to basically act on it, right? So the idea is to do the scoring of the model in real time as the events are coming in from your real time systems. So you have real time systems, you have already the models, you want to connect this to this. That's where the streaming analytics come into picture. And how do you take actions? Obviously, as I said, the output of the model will always be probability. If there is a particular chance of something being happening, and if you want to automate the action, for example, if the probability of fraud is very high, just mark it fraud. But if there is a scope for some human to basically look at things, you can have a human workflow also. We can call your case management system to act for some human to basically act. If some alert needs to be generated, we can generate some alerts as well, right? On a push notification, if you want to broadcast something, if you want to generate some SMS or some alerts, those can be generated. And there is another part where you will have some operational team who will want to monitor this kind of things, right? So there are operational teams who will monitor if there is some fraud going on or not, if there is some trade issues going on or not, those kind of things, right? Or if there is a high, like even for regulatory purpose, you might do a lot of MiFID regulations and other regulations, right? So those kind of things you can actually do. You can monitor it within our visual analytics tool as well. So you in our visual analytics tool, you can monitor all the things that are happening in the real time using the streaming analytics. And I'll show the demo for this actually. We have a lot of connectors, especially in banking financial. We connect to a lot of market data coming from Barclays, Citi, HSBC, even CME, Bloomberg, Morgan Stanley. Even if you have data coming from some messaging systems, we can connect to it, Kafka, as I was saying. So we can even do databases. We can connect with databases and get data from that. So we have a lot of connectivity option. We can even connect to social media data if you are looking for something in area of social media for monitoring your customer, what they are posting on your pages basically. So using this streaming, what all things you can do, right? So some of the things are dynamic pricing. Again, in insurance, it's very critical. It's very important to price things important, and for that matter, for everyone, right? Even for NBFCs, if they are lending to individuals, Sometimes they might want to change the interest rate based on the customer profile. So you want to look at the customer profile in detail and basically take actions. Those actions can be, again, this is a very generic part of things, where you can actually take a model to make the decision in real time. You can use a decision table to make the decision in real time, or you can just process the data by taking the input and writing it to some storage technology. Anything you want, you can do it. But obviously with if you have a requirement for doing predictive analytics in real time, that's where you can actually embed the model in real time and take actions as soon as. So for example, if a customer is asking you for a price, what kind of price should be given, that model can actually tell you, and based on the model output, you can decide what kind of pricing should be given, be it insurance, be it NBFC, be it any kind of lending or the price determination you want to do, right? Even for a lot of the charges, a lot of the facilities you charge, you can dynamically price a lot of those things as well. So a very good use cases for streaming there. FX dealing accelerator. So TIBCO actually ships a lot of the component as accelerator, and what we do is we create the ecosystem around the using our technology and give this as a starting guide to our customers. So we have something called as FX dealing accelerator, where we have provided a lot of capabilities, right? Like a lot of the algorithms in itself, a lot of the connectivity in place. So you can connect to a lot of market data, get that data, execute a lot of orders in real time. We have seen this a lot in trade monitoring and particularly the currency market. But you can use it like for a lot of algorithmic trading. We have customers using it for algorithmic trading and other use cases as well. It's pretty generic, it's pretty extensible in that sense. There are many other use cases, as I was saying, right? So be it algorithmic trading, be it risk management, be it market data management. There are concept of smart order routing. If you are interested, you can ask questions and we'll come back to you. I don't want to spend much time here right now, but we do a lot of those things in the real time analytics area, which can be beneficial for you as an organization. Again, we do a lot of business activity monitoring and early warning systems, where again, because this is real-time systems, right? We can connect to your database systems to get the transactions, or to connect to your messaging systems. As soon as we get the message, we can track the entire process. We can actually see, or we can monitor any activity if you want, and especially for regulation purpose and other purpose. If those things are or if there are any anomalies or any problem, if those gets highlighted very earlier, that would actually be very useful for you, rather than waiting for the end of the day kind of a compliance, or maybe a week kind of a compliance to get things. So there are a lot of things, and even for critical services, right? If you have again an HNI who is requesting for service, you want to monitor how is the SLA for that particular service being provided. You can monitor that end to end, and if there is any problem, those can actually be solved in real time as the problem occurs. So again, a very classical and very good use case for streaming analytics. So this is like about an end-to-end architecture. I think I have like less time. I'll try to be a little fast here. But again, the idea is, how do we tie this up all together, right? So and this can be applied to any use case. Whatever I'm saying now can be applied to any use case. So you will have transactions coming in. Those transactions can be taken in streaming analytics, and they can be written to historical storage also. So typically any transaction will be written to historical storage. You will use a lot of visual analytics to basically analyze the data, and then you will have something like AI/ML engine, which will basically look at the historical data and build models, right? So the example of this can be like, a very simple example can be card transactions, right? So if those credit card transactions are coming, you are actually storing it also. You are using all the historical data to basically make the model, evaluate the model, and understand the model. You are pushing that model in your real-time engine, where the AI/ML execution is happening, and whenever a credit card transaction is happening, that model will get executed and will tell you whether the fraud will happen, this is a fraud transaction or not. If you have identified something, you can actually monitor them in a real-time dashboard. So that's the operational team can monitor this, and you can take action. So if it is fraud, you can directly cancel the transaction or block the card, or if it is for requesting for a credit, you can decline the credit request, or you can send it to some human person for in the case management system, where a person can actually look into the details of those transactions and basically approve or disapprove a particular thing. right? And but the good part is the chain has to complete. For example, if the model makes a wrong prediction, for example, a model says that this was a fraud, but it was not a fraud, what do? You actually learn from your actions. So whatever action was taken, if that action was not correct, the historical data gets updated. And once that historical data gets updated, your AI model will continuously to learn, maybe every week, every month, every Friday, so that whatever is the learning from the historical mistakes, those can be improved. And over the period of time, your model can become very efficient to basically deliver results. So that's how you can basically tie up the streaming analytics, the visual analytics, and the predictive analytics to deliver the end-to-end solution. Yeah. But I would like to say that if we have a lot of customers who actually use only some component like visual and predictive, or only streaming, depending on the use case, we can actually discuss those things on what is most suitable for you. Yeah. So why TIBCO, I won't spend much time, but obviously we are best in class with technology, the low code environment where you can drag and drop things and build things rather than writing the code in some language. We have a lot of connectors available, accelerators available, so it saves a lot of things. Obviously cost is one thing, because if you are planning to buy these three different things from three different vendors, it will cost you always more and it will be very difficult to manage. With us, you can have like a single platform where you can manage this entire thing with one vendor, and will help you with the execution also. So it leads to actually significant cost saving for a lot of our customers. And you have one neck to catch, right? So if anything happens, you can let us know, and we'll obviously fix it for you. So that's again very important. There are some customer case studies, but I'm sure you can get this on internet, so I won't spend much time on this. But we have done a lot of work with a lot of customers across the globe, and we keep on doing a lot of things. So you can find a lot of this information, and I'll share the slides as well. Now, because we have like 7-8 minutes, I think I'll cover some demos. So for that, what I'll do is, this is my streaming engine. So you can see how drag and drop, or how like this entire thing looks like. If you want to look at the flow, you can actually connect to a flow, and this is the model which is getting executed. This model actually comes from the data science platform, and I'll show you that thing. So you can actually have the model coming from a data science platform and execute the entire stream and use it for analysis. I'll use another example for my demo. So I'll use this. I'll start it up. It takes a while to start because it will be connecting to multiple things and running some simulations. So what it does, yeah. So this is like for an insurance, but again, you can imagine this scenario for any retail banking, or for even your financial services. The thing is, like, you will have you have like insurance claim from multiple places, right? So, and this is with respect to a particular hurricane. The analysis has been done, but the analysis again can be irrespective of any situation. So if you have an the claims coming from multiple places, you can see the red ones are the one where there are a lot of claims coming from. The yellow are one where it is little less, and the green ones are little better. So this is the state level information you see. Now you can actually go detail one down low, and you can see that which city this information or county this particular thing is happening, right? You can go down again one more level and see the information being generated at the zip code level. So it's taking a while, I think, because of my internet, but it's again very cool that you can actually look at from a entire state level. And this is like the entire country information you are seeing in the KPI. So you see from country to state to county to zip code. And if you want to look at a particular county, you can click on it, and you will see that this information gets updated only for that county. So you can actually do those kind of things, right? So and the KPI get updated. So for example, in this county, 27 numbers of names are there. So if you have a regional team, those team will look into the regional data. But as a country manager, I have the flexibility to look at country as well as the state level data. Again, this is very cool. You can do the sales analysis with the same kind of thing. So for example, if you have a sales, right? So this is like a map of Oman, the map of, I showed you the map of earlier US, but it can be any map. So if you are looking at the sales performance of a particular area, you can actually look at it. If you want to look at all together, you can do it. You can go to city level rather than state level. So with the state level, you will see more granular information, right? So you can do all of those things. Very useful, very good. Again, the CXO dashboard I was talking, there are a lot of things in CXO dashboard you can show, starting from how your business is going in different geographies, how is my loan book, how is my credit accounts going by different products, what is my different things. If I want to use different kind of zoom down, if I want to see a particular area, then I can actually go to it and see in more detail how my revenue is going from last year to this year and so on. So it's pretty dynamic, pretty good. All of these things is self-service. You can build it by yourself, or a lot of the business users can build this by themselves rather than relying on IT. You can have a lot of statement, especially again looking at the net interest income or the operational margins and so on. You can look at your human resource as well, or the headcount analysis. You can actually click on something and see how many contractor in this particular place, how much of the things are going on. Yeah.
Varun,
Yeah.
Coles
Yeah.
here. So we have a couple of questions coming.
Yeah,
So
give me
Amit
like
wants
2
to.
minutes. I think, yeah, I think
Yeah.
we 2 minutes more, and then we'll go to question. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So as I was saying, right? So here you were visualizing the historical information in a very in the visual analytics. But again, you can use the streaming analytics, which I just ran, right? So you can see as claims are getting generated, you see this getting updated in real time. So you see this is getting updated as soon as my claims are coming, and I'm not doing any refresh or anything. And on the map, things get updated as well. So you see this charts, they are getting updated pretty much every time. And there are few models which are running, which are telling me that if there are any anomalies in the claim, those get highlighted also immediately, so that the anomalies are something which your executives can work on. So that is the kind of thing which we can build in an end-to-end fashion, from connecting to your historical data to your real-time data. Lastly, because we have less time, what I'll do is I'll just show the predictive part, how you can build the models. So there are different ways you can build the models. As I said, right, using R, Python, but you can use our drag and drop tool as well. So for example, if you have, if I show you this model, this is like basically, this is a model which takes my credit data, my demographic data, try to mix it up and try to say whether someone will default or not. It is building that particular model. So and there are different kind of operators. I have like operators from I have like ETL operators, I have predict operator, I have NLP operator, I have AutoML operators, and I can just drag and drop and build this workflow. If I want to see the result of it, I can just click here and say I want to see the result for it, and I'll be able to see the result of this particular tab, right? If I want to configure it, again, it's a very easy configuration. You need not write any code. This is just you have to configure it and the models will be ready. Once the model are ready, as I said, you can actually export them, and once it is exported, it can be, so there is an artifact management system wherein once this is exported, you can specify location of our artifact management server or our streaming server, and the streaming server will directly pull it from there rather than you giving any like a static file or any location, right? So that is managed seamlessly with our operational engine of streaming analytics.